What if this exact moment we are witnessing right now becomes the terrifying beginning of something much bigger, something that shatters the very foundation of law and order in this city? Let us take a very quick look at the current board just to see exactly where our pieces are positioned before the chaos erupts. Jordan Ashford has been playing a highly dangerous, high-stakes game of deception. Following the devastating hit-and-run accident that left her physically battered and emotionally scarred, she made a bold move. She infiltrated Jen Sidwell's inner circle, playing the role of his loyal pawn flawlessly, all while secretly feeding crucial intelligence directly to the PCPD. Her dangerous undercover work is exactly what led to Sidwell's spectacular downfall and capture. Now, the undeniable truth is out in the open. Sidwell is cornered, his criminal empire is crumbling around him, and he has explicitly confronted Jordan, demanding to know why she sold him out to the authorities. The trap has officially snapped shut on him, but Sidwell is a master psychological manipulator who knows exactly how to read people. He sees the lingering pain in Jordan's eyes. He sees the absolute devastation from the accident that she tries so hard to hide. The pieces are set on the board, and Sidwell is holding one final desperate card up his sleeve. Looking ahead, what happens next may be a deal with the devil that changes the entire trajectory of Port Charles. The first future we need to explore is one where Sidwell does not threaten Jordan with physical violence, but instead targets her deepest, most hidden vulnerability. I am talking about a scenario where Sidwell completely drops any mention of his hidden offshore accounts in Zurich and instead makes Jordan an offer she simply cannot refuse. He knows she is struggling immensely. He knows she feels like she has lost her identity, her pristine reputation, and her physical confidence due to the horrific scars from the hit-and-run accident. What if Sidwell promises to fund the absolute best, most elite plastic surgeons in the entire world to completely erase every single scar on Jordan's face and body? He offers to fully restore her physical appearance, giving her back the confidence and the life that was violently stolen from her on that dark road. But of course, a miracle like this comes with a massive, unthinkable price tag. In exchange for this life-altering medical intervention, Jordan must use her intimate, top-level knowledge of the PCPD's protocols to orchestrate a flawless prison escape for Sidwell. And it absolutely does not stop there. She wouldn't just be helping him break out of a transport van. She would be tasked with staging a highly convincing, irrefutable fake death. If she can manipulate the evidence, tamper with the DNA records, and make the PCPD and the entire world believe Jen Sidwell perished in a tragic fiery escape attempt, the global manhunt ends forever. Who benefits here? In Jordan's deeply traumatized mind, everyone actually wins. She gets her life, her face, and her body back. Sidwell disappears into the wind, promising never to return to their lives. Port Charles is finally safe from his reign of terror without spending millions on a trial. The bigger consequence may be that Jordan actually talks herself into believing this is a noble, victimless crime. She might genuinely convince herself that faking his death is the only permanent way to protect the people she loves, while simultaneously healing her own deep, agonizing physical and emotional wounds. But there is a strong chance that we are looking at a completely different future, one that is far more sinister and game-changing for the entire canvas. What if this isn't just a simple, mutually beneficial transaction, but the ultimate lethal double-cross? Let us build a second scenario where Jordan successfully pulls off the impossible. She hacks the secure police systems, manipulates the transport routes, and stages a massive, fiery crash that leaves behind a perfectly planted body double with altered dental records. The PCPD officially declares Jen Sidwell dead at the scene. Jordan breathes a sigh of relief, thinking she has finally won. She packs her bags in secret, ready to travel to Europe to meet the elite surgeons Sidwell promised her. But here is the terrifying, inescapable reality. A man like Jen Sidwell never, ever forgets a betrayal. He is a ruthless, vindictive sociopath who remembers every single lie Jordan told him while she was secretly wearing a wire for the police. The very moment he is free and his death is officially certified by the authorities, he doesn't send world-class surgeons to meet Jordan. He sends a highly trained assassin, or worse, he shows up in the shadows himself. In this dark future, Jordan walks willingly into a brilliantly disguised slaughterhouse. She believes she is stepping into a high-end, luxurious medical clinic to reclaim her beauty, but she is actually stepping into a soundproof room with the monster she originally put behind bars. This path would fundamentally change the entire landscape of the show. Jordan, the brilliant former police commissioner, would be reduced to a helpless victim trapped in a terrifying nightmare of her own making, completely cut off from anyone who could possibly save her because she deliberately and meticulously covered Sidwell's tracks for him. Now, let us explore the third future, which is undoubtedly the most shocking. This is the absolute wild card possibility, the scenario that almost no one is actively thinking about right now, but it would be absolutely jaw-dropping to watch unfold on our screens. What if Jordan Ashford is playing a game of four-dimensional chess that even a criminal mastermind like Sidwell cannot comprehend? In this scenario, Jordan accepts his sinister deal. She agrees to fake his death. She sets up the transport schedule, she rigs the explosive charges, and she gives Sidwell the exact, precise route to his supposed freedom. She acts desperate, broken, and entirely compliant, letting him believe he has successfully manipulated her trauma. But what if Jordan knows exactly who she is dealing with? She knows Sidwell is a snake who will never let her live because she is the ultimate loose end who knows his deepest secrets. So instead of staging a fake death with a planted body double, Jordan orchestrates his actual brutal death. She uses the exact parameters of the escape plan to lure Sidwell into a genuine, inescapable, fatal trap. When the police transport van explodes on that lonely highway, it isn't a medical cadaver inside. It is Jen Sidwell himself, locked in and unable to escape the flames. Jordan crosses the ultimate moral boundary, transforming instantly from an officer of the law into a cold-blooded vigilante executioner. She uses his own desperate, greedy escape plan to eliminate him permanently, ensuring he can never hunt her or anyone in Port Charles ever again. She then secretly claims his hidden offshore funds herself to quietly pay for her own recovery. This wouldn't just be a massive plot twist. It would be the complete and total villain origin story for Jordan Ashford, changing her character's DNA forever. If you ask me, the path that feels most likely, the one that truly aligns with the tragic, heavy psychological weight of this current storyline, is the second future, the devastating, heartbreaking betrayal. I keep coming back to the idea that Jordan's current desperation is completely blinding her to reality. She is in so much pain, both inside and out, from that horrific hit-and-run accident. When smart, capable people are that deeply broken, they desperately want to believe in miracles. They want to believe that a monster can actually keep a promise if the transaction is mutually beneficial. I truly think Jordan is going to fall for his manipulative lies. She is going to look in the mirror, see the scars that Brooklyn Quartermain's reckless driving caused, and she is going to make the absolute worst decision of her entire life out of pure vulnerability. She will use her brilliance to help Jen Sidwell stage his fake death perfectly. And Sidwell, being the absolute venomous snake that he is, will turn on her the very second he doesn't need her protection anymore. The sheer tragedy of Jordan orchestrating her own demise, literally handing her worst enemy the exact tools he needs to erase her from existence, is just too powerful of a narrative for the writers to ignore. It perfectly highlights the devastating, irreversible consequences of losing one's moral compass in a moment of profound weakness. But if that happens, if Jordan falls into this terrible trap and Sidwell successfully betrays her, what happens next? The story absolutely does not just end with Jordan in peril. The next shockwave is going to hit Port Charles like a massive, unyielding earthquake. Think about the long-term fallout. If the PCPD officially rules that Jen Sidwell is dead in a fiery transport crash, they will completely call off the global manhunt. The file will be closed. No one will be looking for him. He will have total, unrestricted freedom to operate in the shadows, rebuilding his empire right under their noses. And what happens when Jordan goes missing? Because she likely told everyone she was leaving town for a few months for specialized medical treatments or a long overdue vacation, her closest friends and family, Curtis, Portia, Laura, and Dante won't even realize she is in mortal danger for weeks, maybe even months. They will think she is resting and recovering in some elite, secluded Swiss clinic, while in terrifying reality, she is fighting for her life in a dark basement somewhere, entirely at the mercy of a ghost that the world believes is dead. By the time someone brilliant like Anna Devane realizes that the timeline simply doesn't make sense, by the time they dig up the grave and realize the DNA on the burned body doesn't actually match Jen Sidwell, it might be entirely too late. This could lead to the most intense, high-stakes rescue mission Port Charles has ever seen, with the entire police force desperately hunting a dead man to save a woman who betrayed them all. The ripple effects of this single desperate choice will tear through the Ashford family, the PCPD, and the entire city, leaving scars that no surgeon in the world could ever hope to heal.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.